Maximilien Robespierre, whose tyranny in the French Revolution is remembered across generations, was also responsible for bringing about a revolutionary social reform, the abolition of slavery in the French colonies. Even before the French Revolution, in 1789, France had 3 colonies of the Caribbean: Martinique, Guadeloupe, and San Domingo under its control. These places were major suppliers of sugar, coffee, indigo, and tobacco. As Europeans were reluctant to work in far-off lands, there was a shortage of labor at the plantations in these colonies. This led to the formation of a triangular slave trade between Europe, Africa, and America, which began in the 17th century. Merchants sailed from the French ports to the African coast, where they bought Negroes, who were natives of Africa, from the local chieftains. In today's world, the word Negro is an offensive and racist term. We refer to them as Africans or African Americans. The slaves were then crammed into ships and transported to the French colonies in the Caribbean, where they were sold off by the plantation owners. This led to an increase in the population of black people in the Caribbean when compared to the whites. Port cities like Bordeaux and Nantes were flourishing economically because of the slave trade. Frustrated by the treatment meted out to them, many slaves fled from their colonies and formed a community called the Maroons, or runaways. Foreseeing a rebellion in the French colonies of the Caribbean, the National Assembly discussed the views of extending the rights of man to these colonies as well. Several deputies in the National Assembly supported the proposal to abolish the slave trade, but no action was taken. The agitated slaves of San Domingo began a rebellion against France. They made deals with Britain and Spain to join their armies and fight against the French. Keeping the current state of affairs in mind, the National Convention, headed by Robespierre, voted to abolish slavery in all the French colonies on February 4, 1794. Unfortunately, slavery was reintroduced 10 years later by Napoleon Bonaparte. The measure to finally abolish slavery in the French colonies came 44 years later, in 1848, by the French Second Republic.